So let's talk about the Hcalory TB or Toolbox TB2 heater. You see that window over there? And if you look at what's coming through that window, that's actually preheating my chef boyardee. That is the heat from the TB2 that's mounted outside. Now, I wanted to show you, this is our camp that we're working on right now. This is a 20 by 20 square. You might have seen it in an early video that I put out about this heater. So this is my back door, and that's my front door. That's a 20-foot distance between them. And this back wall here to the other side of our bedroom over there. This is 20 foot there, so it's 400 square feet. Let's zip you around here. Check these out. I got these out of a bar that was updating. And there's the little kitchen area that we have here in the camp. And so this right here, tripping and falling here. Try not to do that. So this is where I brought my TB2 in, and what I did with my window is I cut plywood and I put foam above and below, open the inner sash for that board, and then I cut that board a little bit too long on purpose so that I was pressing firmly into the foam both above and below. Then I went outside, and I put foam between the outer sash and the glass, and then I came here and I did between the inner sash and the outer glass. That way there's like no leakage. I also went and, let me go outside here. I just grabbed some scrap wood and threw together this stand you see right here. So there's my Hcalory TB2 heater. It comes with these little brackets that you see, that this is the intake for the burner. And this is the exhaust for the burner into another bracket, so I'm not anywhere near wood. You can put your hand down here on the wood. There's nothing, it's not even warm. Even though the exhaust itself is very hot. So I ran their flex pipe in, and I went and bought insulation. I wrapped it with insulation, and then wrapped the insulation with the duct tape, the aluminum duct tape. So there's my wood panel. I also stuffed the sides with foam, because I had to have the wood panel slightly undersized to be able to get it in there. So I foamed in all around here to make sure that I had no air gaps. There you see the foam that I put into the, right here. This is pressed tight between the glass and the sash, and you can see the one on the inside side, same way. So this TB2 heats this building. Now I do have the upper floor blocked off right now because we typically don't have our kids and grandkids up here during the winter, but heating the 20 by 20 building, no problem. We typically run it on, like right now it's on 2. Most of the day I had it on 1. It did cool down to like 68 degrees inside. It never hit 40 today here. It's been in the mid 30s to upper 30s. So heat wise, you can, set this thing anywhere you want. You can do it by Bluetooth off of your phone. I try not to really run it on 1 much. I did run it today on 1 most of the day because I was out of the cabin. I was just trying to maintain upper 60s, and it did that. But I worry about soot buildup only because, not that I've experienced problems, but I've seen videos where guys talk about soot buildup running it on 1. So I kind of like am trying to stick with H2 or level 2, whatever you want to call it, heat 2. And I've told my wife the same thing. You hit the power, so you can see that it's connected Bluetooth to my phone. I don't know what that 1.9 MFT is. I honestly don't know what that means. The 1338 is the time. Not sure if it's getting that from my phone or what. Again, you can see the 2 here coincides with the 2 there, and it's showing you that the fans are all running and it's doing the things it's supposed to do. And I do not know what max means right there, because it's obviously only on 2, it's not on max. So max what? I'm not sure. I've also seen people have taken this and disassociated it from this case, made their own extension wires, soldered their own stuff together, brought this inside the building, and then set this thermostatically instead of running like I'm running on heat levels or settings. This is actually sensing temperature, and it can thermostatic control. So if you extend this and you move it into the building, you would technically be able to pick a temperature, set it, and this thing would ramp up or down based on what it needed to do to maintain that temperature. I'm not doing that. These come, now the TB2 does come with the 110 volt to 12 volt adapter that just simply plugs right here into the machine. Like I didn't have to buy a single piece or part for this other than my scrap wood to make my little stand you see there. And I made that stand. That way I was able to conveniently use the flex pipe they gave you to run the heat over to the building. I didn't want to have to go buy more. I figured I'll just build the stand to hold this thing up almost level with the window, do what I want to do. But the this Hcalory TB2 is amazing. Now, if I could rip them on one thing, the one thing I would say is that to check your fuel level, you do have to open the door to see where you're at. I have another Hcalory unit that has slots cut in it that you can see the tank inside. The TB2 does not have the slots. Not sure why they didn't open this up. You know, put a slot somewhere, maybe one on each side, to give you a view of that. But so far, I am fascinated. I had heated last year. Well, in this camp, the previous owners had heated and left me their kerosene heaters. They ran 2 kerosene heaters. Let's go back inside. I have one of the 2 here that you see. I have not lit that off yet this year. Okay, so it's full of fuel. I put a new wick in it. It can run. I just haven't had a need. Today, this is about the heat of the day. It's the clock's wrong. It's actually 1:37 p.m. So it's almost 40 degrees, and you can see it's holding 68 degrees in here right now. I had just recently turned that back up from level 1 to level 2 because I know it's getting dark here. In the next few hours, I'm getting done cutting wood and doing what I'm doing outside soon. So I don't know how accurate this thermometer is, but I tend to find 73 to 74 my comfortable place. So with this TB2 on level 1, it did back down to 67.2 or 4 during the day today. Moved it back up to level 2. I might even kick it up to level 3, depending on, you know, what it takes to, you know, push it up to get it up quickly, because the temperature rise in here does go slow. Now you see the steps here, and you see what I did. I built a cover right there. I framed that in, insulated the top side of it, so that keeps the second floor heat, keeps the heat from traveling up to the second floor at a rapid rate. Now, the flooring, there's nothing insulated. This is all rough cut lumber, and it's all, you know, heat does leak through pretty quick, I'm sure. And I use a fan there to stir the air around in here. So you have the TB2 is, you know, blowing the air in here. The fan, I have 2 fans. I have one here, and I have another one in the bedroom. They're kind of stirring the air, making sure that you don't have any stale spots or cold spots. The other thing, the way I'm doing it with the TB2 mounted outside, is that the Intake and exhaust for the burner are outside, so they're non-consequential to the building inside, right? Not worried about fumes, not worried about anything like that. If I mounted the unit inside, it would be using the inside air to pull across the outside of the burner, the heat exchanger, and blowing the warm air out. And it would be the same air inside as outside, so you wouldn't have positive pressure in the building. Now, what I'm doing with the unit outside, to me is a bonus, is that this is the discharge from the heat exchanger. And let me open the door. This is the intake for the heat exchanger. So all the time that this is running, I have positive pressure inside this building. So if there are leaks, which I'm sure there are, this is it's a camp that was built 45 years ago, but any leaks should be leaking warm air out rather than cold air in. On positive pressure system, similar to your home furnace, where you're trying to, you're not recycling only the air from in the building. You're trying to bring outside air, heating it, pushing it in. Any leaks are leaks out, not leaks in. So that's it. I just wanted to share with you. I mean, we've had this thing now for a couple months. We've been using it. The weather's been getting cooler and cooler, and so far it's it's amazing how thrifty the diesel use is on this compared to running those things, because we did that last year, as I told you. And diesel, off-road diesel, red diesel, is the same exact thing as, it's 15 parts per million, ultra low sulfur diesel fuel, is the exact same thing as home heating oil. So home heating oil, if you buy that, you don't pay sales tax on it. If you buy it as diesel fuel, off-road diesel fuel, you do pay sales tax for it. So I buy this at for $3.05 a gallon for home heating oil, versus if I go buy kerosene for that, that's $4.99 a gallon. So it's almost $2 less a gallon, and the efficiency that this thing gets compared to the kerosene is much, much higher. I use much less fuel, and I'm buying the fuel at $2 a gallon less, like $1.95, $1.94 less per gallon. So overall cost savings in one winter season, I'll almost pay for that TB2 in one season. And I'm also running another one, not a TB2, it's a different Hcalory unit, but I'm running it out in my shed just to keep the shed, because I have a shower room in there and a, what do you want to call it, a sink. You brush your teeth, you could wash dishes. It's a laundry tray. I have a laundry tray and I have a shower stall. No toilet. My toilet is an outhouse. But so I keep that building just warm enough that you can tolerate it. But this is just fabulous. I can't speak highly enough. And I don't know if you're aware, but a lot of the brands out there, like one of the big brands is Vevor. And I wouldn't badmouth that brand because I have things from Vevor that I'm very, very happy with. But the fuel pump that they use is a very loud snapping pump. It's, the audible snap of the piston for each pulse is very, very loud. Not sure what they're using, what Hcalory's using, but the pump is very quiet, very subdued. If we walk back out here and you listen to that, now this is standing like literally right beside it, and you hear that. And if you, so this whole deck is 20 foot, right? So that's at about 17 feet from me. I mean, I could still hear it, but it's not near as loud. My buddy has a Vevor that he bought a couple years ago before Hcalory was really on the scene. And his in the garage while we're working on his Jeep and doing stuff, significantly louder than this. But this being mounted outside, when you close the door, it's gone. You have just the steady hum of the air. So I just wanted to share with you guys, because I really think that these Chinese sourced diesel heaters are probably somewhat a wave of the future if you have a cabin, because you can run this solar into batteries to power these off of the 12 volts. You could do what I'm doing, run 110 volt to 12 volt converters if you have just power only, 110 volt electric only. I think the days of doing the wood stoves and just the various ways, pellet stoves, mini splits, things like that. This possibly is a much cheaper entry point for you that will get you winter camping, winter hunting camp season heat at a very economical point of entry, very economical to operate, very warm and controllable environment within your building. And I just think this is probably where a lot of people are going to end up going, doing something similar to what I did. And I could always go ahead and add a second one. Like if I find that when it's really cold, I could take that window back there, because I do have another uncovered deck out here, and I could build another stand and cover and make that stand covered. So I could build one into this window, and I can have one in the front, one in the back, meeting in the middle, and that would allow me to heat both ways. Now I do also have these things. These are I was using electric heaters augmenting these last year, so I still have the electric heaters laying around. They're not in play, they're not in use. So far it has been down into the low 30s, and I have not been above level 3 out of 10. This thing's just it's that effective, and you use a quarter to a third of a tank of gas in about 12 to 14 hours. So I could get about 36 hours ish off of a tank running on level 2 and 3, which is phenomenal, because you're talking about $5 for a day and a half of heating your building. That's very good. So anyways, check out Hcalory. They really are making a good heater, and like I said, I've been running it for a couple months. I haven't had a single hiccup with it. Everything about it's been happy and good, and I think that a lot of people should start to know this name and know that Hcalory is out there, and they're making a quality product at an affordable price. All right, guys, thanks. Hey, like and subscribe, please. Like at least if you won't subscribe, but liking moves moves things up in the algorithm so that other people are shown the videos, and that helps me, and I appreciate that. Thanks, guys.